Morning everybody, and it is a beautiful morning out here at Untitled Golf Club, and what I want to do today, we're going to play a few holes, dance around, try and miss the greenkeepers. So we've probably got about 6 holes or whatever it is. And I want to talk to you today about blowing up, keeping your concentration for a longer period of time. In the comments down below, let me know, are you someone, I mean, people talk to me weekly about this. How do I keep my concentration for 18 holes? It's a long time out on the golf course, and people are going really well for a long period of time, and then their score blows up. They have 2 really wrecking holes all the time, and then that's why they can't get to their lowest handicap. So let's talk about some strategies of how to not blow up, what blowing up actually means, and some of the things that you could practice to maybe reduce the chances of blowing up. Because unfortunately in golf, I think blow-ups are just part of it. Can I blow up or not blow up for these 6 or 7 holes? Plenty of trees, plenty of trouble for me to hit the ball into. In the comments down below, what do you reckon? Will I keep it going for these holes or not? So we're 180 yards middle to this green par 3, and it's into the wind and maybe slightly off the right. I'm gonna hit an easy 6. Struck it well. It's going kind of middle of the green, so actually quite close to the flag. Just, oh, it's at the flag. Oh, it's almost gone in. So it was a really good shot, result-wise, but let's get up there and show you that, because this is an interesting one and kind of relates to the first point. Greens have been hollow tined today, but so this is my shot. That it's one of the best shots I've ever hit on this hole. I was aiming for this part of the green here, so more here, and then if I was going to miss, I wanted to go this side. So I've actually pulled that slightly on the left side of my variance of shot. And this relates to the first point. I'll take that, that's great. But if my plan, say on this hole, was to aim, let's go straight at this flag for argument's sake. So I'm 6 paces left of where I was trying to aim perfect, and probably 10 paces left of where I wanted it to go if I caught a slightly bad one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paces this side, and that's going in the bunker, and I'm short-sighted. Having a plan before you go out there, something that you're trying to achieve, and understanding what that plan is before you go out and having it really clear in your head is going to allow you to do many of the other points that we're going to talk about in this video that relate to blowing up, and keep everything in perspective, keep it real, keep it so you don't get too excited. So like, I'm quite excited. I'm going to start with a birdie on a hole that really my average on this hole would be above par. So I'm going to really win. But I understand that I'm not going to get away with that every time. It was a decent shot, but it isn't as good as it actually looks, because I understand my plan going in. Yes, please. Remember, with your plan, it needs to be adjustable, because different weathers and conditions, having some awareness of what can be achieved in different conditions, so how wind really affects play, rain can obviously as well, might keep your plan a little bit more realistic. So if I'm expecting to shoot level par for these holes is my plan, and I'm going to try and keep out of trouble is my basic plan, well, if the wind is really blowing or it's raining, that's going to be the high end of my plan. Like, that's going to be the top. So having those realistic ideas of what weather can do to affect that plan might just keep you a little bit more sane in the old golfing mind. Have a routine, a pre-shot routine, and a routine as you play. So how many practice swings, where you stand, how you line it up, and keep to that routine. When things are getting exciting, when things are getting nerve-wracking, having this routine might just allow you to center everything around a repeatable technique, repeatable strike, which is going to be the key for you not blowing up. Having a routine. Now, a routine doesn't mean taking forever. A routine can be quick. Watch Lee Trevino hit shots. His routine was super fast. And then obviously if you watch someone like Bryson or even Jordan Spieth's routine can be a little on the long side, but it's their routine. Until things change or they're told to move at a different pace, they're going to go at their methodical pace or not. So find out the one that works for you. And remember, just, I mean, if you can, keep it relatively calm on the old length of time to hit a shot. So I definitely like to stand behind the ball. I pick my target in my head, so an exact target, like we're looking at a tree stump. and then I'm in, ready to go. Couple of waggles. I've got some swing thoughts. I tend to stay over the ball a little longer than others because I do actually have a lot of thoughts often in my head, but then I just make sure I make that time up between shots by walking that little bit quicker. That went to plan. Wow. I thought that went to plan, but it's downwind and I've hit it a little bit too far. So this is where my plan could be better. And this is very much the difference between how I play now with a camera, just kind of having a bit of fun, compared to if I was competing. If I was competing, I would really be measuring, knowing exactly what distance I need to hit it. Going a little too far, like on this instance, kind of wouldn't really happen. I'm not someone who often hits the ball too far. So again, just knowing your plan that a little bit more as you go. Definitely if you want to stop those blow-ups, I mean, I would be working harder if I wanted to stop what I'm going to have to do now. And this leads on to the next point. Here's a blow-up. I've hit a great tee shot in my head, but I've got the wrong club. Should have hit a 7-iron instead of a 6. But nothing was wrong at this point, so I'm frustrated. I've hit what I would call a good shot and I'm in a bad position. I'm now going to have to draw the ball from 130 yards, about 20 yards in the air. Now, I know I can do that with a lofted club. Because if you think about this, this is a great example of where a blow up can come. I'm playing well, I've hit a decent tee shot, but I've got a blow up potential. Knowing what you can and can't take on is huge for limiting the blow ups. So people call it concentration. How do I concentrate for a longer period of time? I often don't see it as that. It's understanding your game better. I don't see many people whose concentration goes that causes the bad shot. They're not just swinging thinking, oh, do I like custard or cream better on apple pie? Or I've shanked it. You know, I just don't see that. I see people having an array of shots on a course and not knowing how to handle the different situations, even when you think it's gone to plan. So if I couldn't get this round here, and I knew it was a high risk shot that I can't pull off, I'm going to say with this shot for me, this is a 70 to 85% chance of coming off. It's a 95% chance of being in play once I've hit it. So I'm going to play those odds. If this was 50-50, I probably would just be bumping it as far forward as I can, but in play. So I've got a shorter next one. Understanding your capabilities and not taking on the ridiculous is where you are going to stop those blow-ups. Because remember, for most golfers, the biggest problem you have on the course and why you don't play for your handicaps and why you don't keep concentration for 18 holes is because of the penalty shots. I'm only playing a small percentage of penalty shot chance on this shot, so I'm going to take it on. So I've not turned that enough. Oh, hit the tree, drop down. I am in play. Poor execution, but again, I played the odds. Let's get up there and show you where that one's finished. This is such a good example, I think, as well. Put it in the comments down below. Can you see yourself in this? I've hit a decent tee shot off the tee, but my plan was wrong. My plan just wasn't good enough. Now I'm in trouble. Got to find my ball, hit one of these tees, drop down. It could have not hit the tree and gone in that really long stuff. Or I could have hit those trees, put another one down, so lost ball, and then hit another one, and then hit the next one over here, which I could have lost. Like, this is your blow up, isn't it? This is if you're not taking on or understanding what you can take on or not, and your plan isn't good. It's not concentration. It's just bad planning. Ouch. Now my next point, which is I think the most common one when it comes to this idea of concentration. So birdie on the first, which was a surprise. It was well ahead of plan. Bogey on the second, disappointing. Didn't really feel like I hit that bad a shot. The recovery wasn't good enough, but to have to hit recovery after a decent tee shot's frustrating. So I could be frustrated now on this tee. So what happens when people get frustrated is we could class this now maybe as lose concentration, but again, this relates back to having a focused plan. This hole for me is a par to a birdie. That's what my goal is. It's a shortish par 5, and today it's downwind. Now, I could try and make an eagle, hit my drive really hard, take this like really crazy line. So by going for it, so pushing harder, let's say when you're frustrated or when things are going badly, like you've made a triple on that one, so you want to get it back. Generally speaking, if you think about the odds, the chances of you not having another blow up actually start increasing if you start playing outside of your plan. This dog leg's right, so if I take this closer to the dog leg, it increases my chances of losing this ball. Why do I want to? I'm pushing harder, but now I'm increasing my chances of worse score. That's not a good idea and a great way to have 2 or 3 really bad holes out there. Me trying to hit this one really hard, like going for my top speed where my variance get on strike starts getting a little wider and then my dispersion gets a little wider. That compared with taking a line that I'm like not normally going on, I'm trying to push it to make my birdie or eagle. The chances are I'm actually increasing my chances of making a 6, 7 or 8. Stick to that plan. Stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. There's a good chance you'll have more better rounds and you won't have those blow-ups. Perfect. So there's my tee shot, finished perfect, but look, there's out of bounds here and absolute death. Me trying to take it through this gap to try and cut the corner down a little bit more, like I said on the tee, is going to increase the variance of having higher scores. The other thing to think about as well when it comes to trying to go to that kind of pre-planned idea, when things start getting into trouble, let's pretend I finish here, just try and get back on plan as quick as possible. From here and different situations, you're not going to take on the crazy like we said before. Getting back out onto plan to the best of your ability. It's reduction of blow-ups. That's actually the game you should all be playing a lot more of. It's important as well to make sure you've got your routine on the green. Like we talk about routine, make sure you've got a routine that you apply on the green and for chipping and tee shots. It's not just off a tee. Something that gets you focused on what you're trying to achieve, regardless of maybe the emotional challenge that you're going to be faced with. Go. Go, 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 go. That's what I wanted. So we've caught out with the greenkeepers, so we'll make this the last hole, and I'm 1 under. The more holes we play, just got the more chance of me blowing up, so. Because the other quick fix, isn't it? Play 9 holes. Or 2 holes. The other big thing that you need to get control of if you want to reduce those blowouts, and remember we're going to have them, doesn't matter what video I make, doesn't give you what tips I give you, we will all blow up. Golf is really hard, 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours, no matter how long you're out there, of a lot of really precise thinking. Like, it's tough and you've got to deliver the club at speed at tiny little angles. It's hard to maintain. You're going to have big variance. So controlling your emotions is one of the bigger ones, and it relates to each of the prior points that we've talked about. When I see people not controlling their emotions, they start losing their pre-shot routine because they're just angry. They just whack it, and then maybe their variance increases or decreases. You can work that out, what works best for you. They do start taking on the lines when they're emotionally challenged, if you like, because they're angry and they're, oh, I'm going to get golf back, I want to get golf back. And then what happens is they're just increasing, like I said, the variance or the chances of having bigger scores. Controlling your emotions with these ideas of having that plan and your pre-shots and those kinds of things. It's easy for me to like stand here and say, you know, just control those emotions, because I understand as much as any of you that it's really tough. We all fight with it, but the more you can remember why you're out here enjoying your leisure time, the more you can try and take that pressure away that you put on yourself of maintaining that kind of score that you desire so much and breaking that handicap record you want to get down to, or that scoring average of breaking 100, 80, 90, whatever it is, or breaking par. The more you might enjoy yourself out here, which might lead to a few more concentrated, calculated actions rather than oh, I'm having a really bad day, I'm going to put all my money down on red. And that's what you like. I do a podcast with Scott Fawcett and Lou Stagner. If you don't listen to it already, maybe check it out. It's called Hack It Out Golf. I'll put a link down in the description. And Scott talks about it, and Lou have done for ages. It's like gambling. Like, if you have a plan going into gambling, you'll play the odds. You'll lose less money because the house always wins and all. As soon as you start doing wild betting, yeah, you got the chances of winning bigger possibly, but over the long run, you're going to lose bigger. Getting control of those emotions is huge for golfers, because unfortunately, and I see this on social constantly, is that it's very clear that lots of people don't understand the handicap system, even the scoring system to a certain extent. We see it in the comments on our videos, and this isn't having a go, it's trying to help. Like, the more you understand the realities of scoring, the more realistic your expectations will be. So, I mean, I'll put some numbers here of people's average score to par compared to their handicap. People don't play to their handicap. Your handicap is a bit more of a reflection of your potential. I mean, that's changed with the world handicap system a little bit, but we play over our handicap a lot. We play under our handicap not that often. That last hole, I wanted to make an eagle, but it's unrealistic. I'm going to make an eagle there a tiny % of the time. Doesn't matter that I've hit the ball into 25 foot in two. Yes, it's an opportunity, but my 4 is still going to be below my scoring average for that hole, so it gives me a realistic idea for me to keep my emotions in check. Because the biggest thing I notice with golf is that amateurs definitely they edge towards the top end of performance all time in their opinions with the way they speak. Maybe the easiest way of thinking about that is I hit my 7-iron 150, that kind of, I hit my tee shots 300. Unfortunately for most people, you don't do those things. So if your expectations is those, you're going to spend a lot of time disappointed, getting angry, and if you can't control that, this is where your blow-ups are going to start coming. Let me know in the comments down below if you relate to any of these points, if it makes sense. Do you see you in any of these points? I'd love to hear, and I'd love to know if this helps, if you give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, if you want loads more free golf content. Thanks for watching.